I have some really interesting analysis to share, and I'm a little bit obsessed with the latest version of the ticker tool. Welcome to Trends with Friends with Invest with Rules. I'm Scott Bennett with the great Mike Olafson. It is May 8th, Friday. You made it through the week. I hope you're all doing really well. We have a really good agenda. We're going to cover the ticker tool, the confirmations. I have some really interesting analysis to share, and I'm a little bit obsessed with the latest version of the ticker tool. This is just information, not a direct solicitation to go buy or sell anything. Please always manage your process, your rules, do your due diligence. We're going to talk about a lot of tickers and ideas, but make sure you always filter it through your world. And again, if you have questions, we would love to help out and be helpful. We obviously don't know your entire situation likely. We do that in our advisory practice where we know our clients pretty intimately financially, and that's at IWR Advisors. We follow the trend, we follow big money, we follow risk management rules. We'll go to the chart of Google. And what I want to do is share this with you so when you use your trend roadmap trading view ticker tool, you kind of see what we see, because this is why I'm all excited about it. So in the background, you have green is gas, so short-term, long-term uptrend. In this case, you have yellow is coast, which is short-term down, long-term is still up. The dashed lines are just something that I added. I think you're allowed two indicators for a free trading view account. One of them is R script. One of them is the ribbon of moving averages. So the green is the 21-day exponential moving average. The red is the 50-day simple, and the black is the 200-day simple. I leave them there just because people are used to them. So the thing that we added to the script was like a interfractal confirmation signal. The red downward facing triangle is like a check engine light. It doesn't mean that the party's over, but it means that there is a higher probability that you should be more concerned the price could be falling. If there is a green upward facing arrow, I think we called it power boost. This wasn't the best name, but in general, there's a higher probability that you go from coast to gas. There's improvement. So let's use boxes to show you. I boxed the moment it turned the indicator, even though it's gas coast break U-turn behind it. And then I boxed the moment it turned to green, unless it would flip. So I'm going to look at three examples and just show you why I'm a little obsessed. And there's never going to be an indicator that's a perfect, and example two is going to prove that. But we're trying to add probability and help you in your process to make cleaner, better decisions. So here is Google right before the conflict in Iran started. And then at the very first days of February, you got your red downward arrow. Coast came 4 days later, but there's problems. There's the probability the price was going to pull in. And then if you're a multi-position trader, you can kind of take a little bit off, a little bit off. Or if you just want to kind of hold and say maybe in example two, maybe it's a little more noisy. But look how clean that downtrend was. And then you got the April 30th low, and then the April 1st, and then you got your confirmations proving that the coast was coming and to a gas, and then look how just clean that is. So it kind of you're anticipating as part of trading is anticipating price movement and then reacting to price movement. So Mike, I'm going to go to the next one. Do you have any thoughts or comments on this indicator on our trading view script?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm smiling here because you might be onto something with I know you manually put in the boxes,
Yeah.
but it just reminds me of Darvis, how I made $2 million in the stock market, my favorite stock market book of all time, hokey title, but the best book. Read it every year religiously. And by the way, here's my 19, I think it's 59 or 60 first edition signed copy. That's how much I love it. But yeah, it's the Darvis box. And what's interesting is our next long-term goal might be to actually get these boxes automated because it's very telling, isn't it?
Well, I actually knew you were going to say that, even though I should have held up a sign that said Mike's going to mention a Darvis box. So I knew it was coming. So let's talk PDBC. We talked about PDBC. PDBC is a non-K1 basket of commodities. It's very oil, West Texas Brent. It has precious metals. It has some ag in there. So this one's more noisy, and I wanted to share with you that some imperfect items as well. So I boxed them again. Again, the first day you get the box. If you switch, you get the change of the box. So I manually put these boxes in, but I want you to know why we like it so much. So, okay, so you're patiently waiting, and then all of a sudden, boom, because it's the opposite day. Oil it was up a lot during this period. So here's what I think is really interesting, and what's not perfect is you're on a gas signal, meaning short-term trend is up, long-term trend is up. You're getting these cluster of red downward facing, these kind of check the engine light. And then it said, what is that? Hold my beer, whatever. It just keeps going higher. So it keeps climbing. And this was taken, I think, yesterday. So it undercut the 21, held it, and it has this gap. So this is maybe a less, it's still pretty boxes. Like if you just like hit this and hit that, or you just kind of keep running. But that's kind of interesting where PDBC still helpful, but a little bit more noisy. And I'm going to give you the cleanest one next. This was our workhorse. We've sold into it 3 times. We've had a really great run since April 8th. Look at that box. So you had to start of the year in January, you got your first little run. Then you got the red boxes start to cluster. That would have been a really small gain. And then look how the red indicators are still there. And then here is where the first gas signal confirmation. I'm going to put it all together in a second. You're going to love this. So then you have just the most beautiful vertical box possible. Mike, thoughts on Seagate or PDBC?
I'm sorry,
Do
I
you have
missed
any
it.
thoughts on this one or
Uh,
PDBC?
no, back to your point, it's super clean. But I guess the question, and this is probably where you're going to bring it home for us, is what's actionable here?
Yeah, I love it. So this was taken on Wednesday. Remember, Wednesday was a great day. Thursday wasn't. Today is. So these arrows are now on the far right-hand side of the live sheet of our model portfolio. So you'll notice that it will say overheat and it will still have an arrow, so it's higher probability it goes up. It could say possible add, and there probably will be an arrow there. Our data sources are multiple, so most of the time it will jive. There's always a chance that TradingView's data or Google Sheets data may not perfectly jive. But I want you to know when you go to the members area, you go to the model portfolio, it's there. When you go to the watch list, it's there. So you'll see these arrows, so that'll help you a little bit with these kind of our whole watch list are these green arrows. So I hope you are these green triangle ups. So I think that was, we're going to go to risk in a minute, but Mike, any comments on adding that little fun triangles to the live sheet?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. And this kind of, file this under the same, like we talk about this a lot where we want to help you, but we also, by doing so, help ourselves. So it's kind of like this mutually beneficial where we're trying to do these continuous improvements to help ourselves and help you. So hopefully you find this useful as well.
Yeah, my old employer, we used the Japanese term kaizen,
There you
constant
go.
improvement.
All right, please go ahead and email us hello@investmentrules.com and we'll get back to you right away. Otherwise, Scott, I'll flip it back to you to wrap it up.
Let's do it. So again, we want to thank you. We try our best. We follow rules. It's the process that keeps you together and mentally ready. But I would say it's Friday. Enjoy your weekend. I hope this helped you identify some uptrends or things coming to uptrends, but please always do your due diligence, manage your risk tolerance. This is not a direct solicitation, just things for your watch list. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you at investwithrules.com.